Coming up on Sports Paws, the volleyball team took on two big MAC opponents at home in Fairfield and Sacred Heart.
And the women's ice hockey team traveled to Yale and Brown to kick off conference play.
And the field hockey team went down to the nation's capital to face off against Georgetown, looking for a spot in Big East playoffs.
All that and more coming up on Sports Paws right now.
Welcome into Studio 125 for another edition of Sports Paws. I'm Miranda Putorti.
And I'm Sam Kaplan. With the fall sports nearing the end of their season, there has been a lot happening in Quinnipiac sports this week.
Following Quinnipiac Volleyball's weekend in New York against Siena and Marist, the Ganesh twins got some recognition from the MAC. Yammer Ganesh took home co-player of the week after getting 25 kills in 4 sets in her 11th double-double of the season against Siena, as well as 8 kills and 9 digs in the sweep of Marist. Damla Ganesh received Setter of the Week for the 4th time in her career after recording 48 assists against the Saints and 32 assists against the Red Foxes. She also had 12 digs and 3 kills on the weekend. The Turkish twins and the rest of Kyle Robinson's squad returned home on Friday to take on what most considered their team's biggest rival, the Fairfield Stags. The Bobcats looking to remain undefeated at home against the Stags after defeating them in the MAC championship game in 2022. Ginevra Giovaglione starting for the first time at home this season. She slams it down for the kill. Bobcats up 5-4. After getting a service ace, Elena Giacomini is back at it as she comes up from the backcourt to get the kill. Quinnipiac increases its lead by 3. Later on in the set, the two Italians on the court team up and Giacomini ricochets it off Fairfield to get the point. Quinnipiac takes the first set 25-20. New set, same Giovaglione hits it down over the net to continue her strong performance. The Bobcats start the set up 6-3 and then Milena Silva tips it over the net to secure the set-winning kill. Quinnipiac takes the second 25-21. The Bobcats are looking for its first sweep against the Stags now. Quinnipiac only up by 1 here, but after a long rally, Yammer Ganesh gets the kill from the front corner. The Bobcats leave 12-10. Midway through the third, Giacomini hits it over Fairfield to pick up the kill. She finishes with 14 on the day, and the Bobcats end the set and win the match with a service ace from Carola Negron-Diaz with a score of 25-22. For the first time in program history, Quinnipiac sweeps the Fairfield Stags. Giovaglione ends her first full match of the season, leading the team in kills with 15.
On the heels of a statement win against Fairfield, the Bobcats are seeking their 6th straight win, taking on the Sacred Heart Pioneers. Jumping right into the action, Damla Ganesh with the dime of a pass to Elena Giacomini, who gets the kill. Ganesh right back at it once again with another fantastic pass, this time to the first-year Vittoria Tonelli. Sacred Heart comes out firing, but Milena Silva has something to say about that. The Ganesh twins able to finish off the set, going up 1-0. In the second set, Carola Negron-Diaz with the dig here. Yammer Ganesh again gets the kill. Sacred Heart look to find their footing as this one goes off of Giacomini's back, but Azia Belli would pick up her teammate. Wow, look at the slide as Belli would get up high once again. Negron-Diaz would close out the set with an ace. The Bobcats go up 2-0. Heading into the third set, Azia Belli with a strong block, totaling 2.5 on the night. The Bobcats struggled to keep the momentum though, as Tonelli would serve one into the net, and the block party continued as Giacomini goes up and denies a Sacred Heart kill. Another fantastic kill here by Tonelli, but Sacred Heart would take this set 25-20. The fourth set was the Elena Giacomini show. Giacomini would slam her foot on the gas, collecting 3 aces in the fourth set. Looking back at the back set here from Damla Ganesh, Giacomini for the kill. Tonelli would slam the door on the Pioneers, and the Bobcats win the match 3-1. An outstanding performance from the Ganesh twins, and this one, Quinnipiac is back on action on Tuesday at home. In the Bobcats' victory against Sacred Heart, one first-year continued to impress with her play this season. Volleyball beat reporter Brianna Trachtenberg has the story.
First-year outside hitter Vittoria Tonelli had 14 kills in Saturday's win against Sacred Heart, bringing her total to 111 so far this season.
She did do a good job as a young player in these tough matches. You know, we played her a lot early on just to see where she's at, see, you know, if she can swim in this pool, right, in this pond. But these matches for conference are tough because they're rivals, right? But also, the more you win, the tougher they get because you don't want to lose. You don't want to, disrupt the ship, so to speak. So I thought she did a great job coming in a tough situation.
While being new to a team is always tough, Tonelli has already found her place with the Bobcats.
She's an amazing player in and outside of the court. She came a little bit later. She was not here in the preseason, so our adjustment with her was a little bit late too. But she came back and she's awesome. So I feel like she's very comfortable with us, which is the most important thing, and nothing's stopping her for now. So.
With 7 games left this regular season, Tonelli isn't ready to slow down yet.
Keep going, keep work like that. We are doing a great job. We really believe in this work. We are together. Everyone have the same goal, so keep going.
Tonelli and the rest of the Bobcats will look to continue their winning momentum against Merrimack on Tuesday. Reporting for Q30 Sports, I'm Brianna Trachtenberg.
Following 2 big conference wins for the Bobcats, let's take a look at the recent MAC standings. Despite picking up their first loss to Quinnipiac on Friday, the Fairfield Stags remain in first place. Niagara swept both MAC opponents that they faced this weekend in Siena and Marist, as they continue to find themselves knotted up in second place with the Bobcats. The Canisius Golden Griffins fall in fourth after they defeated both their opponents. Finally, Ryder in at fifth, rounding out the top 5.
Switching over to the turf, the Quinnipiac field hockey team traveled to Washington, D.C. to take down the Georgetown Hoyas in an attempt to take on the Big East playoffs. The Hoyas would upset the Bobcats, though, by a score of 3-1. Quinnipiac led in shots with 15 to Georgetown's 7, and Francisca Escoyas opened up scoring with a lone goal for the Bobcats, but they were not able to hold the Hoyas back from there. The goal from Escoyas was her 11th of the season, bringing her to 31 total points.
On Saturday, the Bobcats took to UMass Lowell, looking to bounce back from their loss in D.C. Despite UMass being Quinnipiac's last non-conference game, the Bobcats didn't take it lightly. Quinnipiac scored twice in both of the first 2 frames. Rose Marin Van Koolen had 2 of those goals separated by less than 4 minutes, while Escoyas also potted a goal in the win. As for Van Koolen, it was her second multi-goal game of the season. The Bobcats will play their last regular season matchup on Halloween as they host the Yukon Huskies.
We have to take our first break of the night, but when we come back, women's ice hockey drove down Whitney Avenue to start ECAC play against their in-state rivals, the Yale Bulldogs, as they look to stay undefeated.
And men's ice hockey hit the road this past weekend to take on 2 fellow East Coast schools. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
I'm an ex-drug dealer, and I'll be your sub today. Two milligrams of fentanyl can be lethal. A lethal dose is in here. Who gets it, I won't know.
It's cheap, it's potent, and it's profitable.
The sad reality is, fentanyl is being mixed into everything now.
More kitchen now.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies. Because when people are fed, futures are nourished. Everyone deserves to live a full life. And with your help, together we can end hunger. Join the movement at feedingamerica.org/actnow.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Do you enjoy debating Quinnipiac sports?
That's all flash, no catch. She didn't net it in the back of the net. That's not even a goal.
What are you doing pulling out Ryan?
Pretty. That's like a crossover with a missed layup.
Bobcat Breakdown is the place for you, with debate, analysis, and so much more.
Mate Marinov. He is good, but oh man, is he bad.
That team is amazing. How do you not put Fairfield women's volley?
Tune in to Bobcat Breakdown every Tuesday night at 9:30 p.m. on Q30TV.com/watch.
Thanks for sticking with us here at Sports Paws. Perhaps one of the most notable Quinnipiac athletes currently, women's ice hockey's Kaylin LaMarche was named the ECAC Hockey Forward of the Week. During their home sweep of Northeastern, LaMarche netted 7 of the Bobcats' 9 goals, scoring back-to-back hat tricks as well as an assist. She is the first player in the NCAA, men's and women's, to score 7 goals in one weekend in at least 7 years, and the first Quinnipiac player to do so in their Division I history.
The women's ice hockey team has been on a win streak as the team looked to stay undefeated on Friday when they took on their rivals merely 20 minutes away in New Haven. The 8-0 Bobcats start off ECAC play against the Yale Bulldogs at Ingalls Rink. Heading straight into the first period action, Emerson Jarvis passes to Taylor Bruschi on the breakaway for her first goal of the season, opens up the scoring, 1-0 Bobcats.
A little later, a scramble in front of the net, but Bryn Pryor manages to tap it in. Bobcats are up 2-0 now.
Later in the second period, good passing by the Bobcats. The puck is in the blue paint, but a Yale defender swipes it away. Still 2-0 heading into the third.
We're over halfway through. There's a puck battle in the corner. Karina D'Antonio comes out with the puck, takes the shot, and Jordan Ray taps it in the rebound. Yale cuts the Bobcats' lead in half with that goal.
Less than a minute left. Yale has an empty net. Jarvis, LaMarche on the 2-on-1. Jarvis shoots. She scores on the empty net. Final score 3-1 Bobcats.
Bobcats remain undefeated with a game of ECAC play under their belts. Felicia Frank with 25 saves in her 7th straight start, and it's the first game since the season opener without a point from Kaylin LaMarche. The win against the Whitney Avenue foe brought the team to a win streak of 9 games. Q30's Spencer Decker has more on the undefeated start.
Winning can be described as a lot of things, but right now, as Quinnipiac women's ice hockey moves to 9-0, the word they're using is the word fun.
They've got a bond. They've got a connection. I've heard many of them say it. I've heard a few people say, I just haven't had this much fun playing hockey, and winning is fun. You know, definitely when you end up on the winning side, if you make a play in the game you really didn't like, you win the game, you feel a lot better after that. So it's a neat group. I think how connected they are is really what's driving this forward.
Kaylin LaMarche has been a big contributor on offense for the Bobcats, and she also has had a lot of fun through these first 9 games.
Oh, winning is just so fun. So I think when you have a group that just loves winning and we find a way to win every night, I mean, I think that's a huge thing. And it just brings us so much confidence, and we want to play with that passion and drive, and we want to get that W at the end of the day. So, yeah.
One of the main contributors to the Bobcats' success is not just our first and second liners, but also the main contributors on the third and fourth line as well.
I think Cass kind of said this a lot. You know, we have so much depth from our whole squad. You know, from first to fourth line, and just getting those goals from those fourth liners. You know, it hypes up kind of all the other lines, right? We all want to get going when that fourth liner puts in that shift and puts in that work. You know, we see that reward, and it fires everyone up for everyone. So yeah.
Now Quinnipiac is back in action on Saturday as they look to go 10-0 on the season as they face the Brown Bears on Saturday at 3 o'clock. Reporting for Q30 Sports at Ingalls Rink, I'm Spencer Decker.
The women's ice hockey team took to the ice at Brown University on Saturday, and it was a goalie showdown. Neither team would concede a goal through the first 2 periods, but after a tripping penalty in the third committed by Quinnipiac's Regan Berglund, the Bears' India McDottie was able to find the back of the net on the power play. The lone goal in this contest would mark the end of the Bobcats' undefeated start. Despite the loss, Felicia Frank recorded a career-high 31 saves after facing 32 shots.
After splitting the weekend, Quinnipiac remained stagnant in the USCHO polls. The Bobcats stay at 7, with the only movement in the top 8 being Cornell and Minnesota Duluth switching spots at 4 and 5 respectively. The Wisconsin Badgers claim all 20 first-place votes for the 3rd straight week. Cornell continues to be the only ECAC hockey team ranked higher than the Quinnipiac Bobcats.
After going 1-1 over the weekend, the women's ice hockey team still has questions remaining about the remainder of their season.
Women's ice hockey beat reporter Spencer Decker and Christina Semenes preview what's to come from the squad as they continue conference play.
Thanks, guys. The women's ice hockey team went 1-1 this weekend, defeating Yale 3-1 and picking up their first loss of the season to Brown 1-0. Now, my key takeaway from this weekend was Taylor Bruschi's goal to open up scoring against Yale on Friday. That goal was a really big motivator for this team, seeing third and fourth liners picking up points. Definitely a really big motivator, just like Caitlin LaMarche said in the press conference after the game, for the rest of the team seeing Taylor Bruschi score that goal. Now, Spencer, what was your key takeaway from this weekend?
Yeah, I'd have to go with the goal right after that. Bryn Pryor's second goal to get the Bobcats up 2-0. And then in the second period, Taylor Bruschi starts it all, as you mentioned. And then right after that, just about 4 minutes later, Bryn Pryor pockets a loose puck in front of the net to put them up 2-0. I thought that was huge. It ends up being the game-winning goal. The Bobcats' early offense in that second period really got them going. So that second period stretch where they scored 2 goals in really 5 minutes was huge. And I thought Bryn Pryor's game-winning goal was a really big moment of that game.
Now moving on to next weekend in ECAC play, the Bobcats will face off against Union on Friday and RPI on Saturday. Union and RPI are teams that the Bobcats should beat, so it really should be a bounce-back weekend after their first loss of the season. Now, Spencer, moving further into ECAC play, what are some other notable games that the Bobcats have?
Yeah, I want to look at the weekend right after that. St. Lawrence and Clarkson being here in the same weekend. That's 2 tough travels for both of those teams. The Bobcats last year beat St. Lawrence and Clarkson here at home. And also, trips up to teams like Dartmouth and Harvard. They're not typically 2 great teams in this conference, but especially making that trip all the way up there, the Bobcats aren't usually a good road team. Also, they have to make that trip all the way up to Ithaca to play Cornell, and Cornell right now 5th in the country. So those games right there are especially going to be some huge ones. You know, with this big weekend coming ahead, what is one player that you're looking at that might stand out?
The player that I'm looking out for is Felicia Frank. She has started the past 8 games in a row for the Bobcats, and she has played in all of the games so far. So I really think as we go down the stretch, we're really going to have to look out to see how she handles that heavy workload, especially since her backup goaltender right now, Callie Hogarth, has only started 1 game and was pulled after 1 period in favor of Frank. Now, Spencer, who is your player to look out for moving forward?
Yeah, as we get farther into conference play, there's one person who sticks out as a true leader of this team, and that is Mia Lapada, the captain, the defender on that third line. She hasn't really been on the score sheet as of much late, but as we get further into conference play, I could really see her being a contributing factor. I really think she could step up, and this is going to be a huge stretch for the Bobcats coming up in conference play.
Now that's all the time we have here. Back to Miranda and Sam at the desk.
Switching gears now as we look at the men's side of things. They travel to Massachusetts and then New Hampshire for 2 conference matchups.
Men's ice hockey beat reporter Zach Naffa has all you need to know from the weekend.
The Quinnipiac men's ice hockey team continued non-conference play this past weekend, facing off against 2 Hockey East opponents. The Bobcats traveled up to North Andover, Massachusetts to take on Merrimack College on Friday. Quinnipiac trailed 1-0 late in the first period before Chris Pelosi scored on the power play to even things up. However, the Bobcats would not be able to find the back of the net the rest of the night and eventually fell 4-1. Mate Marinov started his 5th straight game, stopping 23 of the 27 shots he faced. Quinnipiac then took on the University of New Hampshire on Saturday in Durham, New Hampshire, with Dylan Silverstein receiving the start between the pipes. The sophomore netminder shut down the Wildcats, making 21 saves and registering his first shutout of the season. Pelosi once again got on the score sheet late in the first period with his 2nd goal of the weekend, before Jeremy Wilmer added an insurance tally early in the 3rd period. First-year forward Marcus Vidicek had a pair of assists over the weekend as well. The Bobcats will get a week off from game action before they host Alaska Fairbanks on Tuesday, November 4th. That's all I have here from M&T Bank Arena. Sam, Miranda, back to you guys at the desk.
And with that, let's take a look at the men's USCHO poll. The state of Michigan is dominating the top 3, with Michigan State remaining in control of the ranks, receiving overwhelming 45 first-place votes. Penn State and Boston University both move up a spot in the poll, coming in at 4 and 5 respectively. Denver jumps ahead of the Bobcats, taking the 6th spot. Despite their loss to unranked Merrimack, Quinnipiac only falls a single spot to number 7. North Dakota rounds out the top 8.
Following the men's ice hockey team's 2-1 week, first-year Marcus Vidicek collected his first ECAC hockey award. The forward received Rookie of the Week after opening up scoring on the power play in the Bobcats' 4-1 victory against Holy Cross on Tuesday. Fast forwarding to this past weekend, Vidicek had an assist in both games against Merrimack and the University of New Hampshire. This is the first time a Quinnipiac player from the CHL has won a weekly award out of their 5 award winners this season. Moving from the ice to the pitch, the men's soccer team welcomed the Siena Saints to Hampton on Saturday, looking to give the Saints its first MAC loss. In what felt like a must-win matchup for the Bobcats in its hunt for a MAC postseason spot. First half, no score. Bobcats trying to strike first, but Francisco Ferreira skies the shot too high.
Still scoreless, it's Sienna's chance to break the stalemate, but a nice defensive play from Finn Ost sends us to the break, knotted at 0.
Quinnipiac would get on the board first, though. Look at Alex Miller with a beautiful strike in the 51st minute. Bobcats are up 1-0. Let's take another look from up top. Just a perfect strike from Miller, who has fought through some injuries to stay on the field this season. But check out this celebration from Miller and Ferreira, showing off their moves.
Late stages of the second half, Sienna trying to find the equalizer, but the Bobcats' back line deflects multiple chances, and the shot goes high. Quinnipiac pulls off the upset 1-0 over Sienna and improves to 3-4 in MAC play. Matthew Pisani gets his first clean sheet of the season. The Bobcats will look to start it off strong against Fairfield next week. One Bobcat surprised those in attendance after he played exceptionally well after a recent injury. Men's soccer beat reporter Zach Naffa has more.
When Alex Miller was named a captain from the Quinnipiac men's soccer team on April 15th, the senior midfielder could not have anticipated missing 7 of the team's first 12 games. Despite dealing with injuries, Miller has still made his presence felt, none more so than when he scored the lone goal in the Bobcats' 1-0 win over Sienna on Saturday.
We were able to get that goal there from Miller, and in 21 years I can't be more happy for a player than I am for him. What he's battled through, probably should have been out of the season twice this year, and he's back and he gets his first game and he gets his first start and gets the game winner. So yeah, those are the moments that as coaches we wait for. So I'm glad that we had that opportunity for him to have that today.
While Miller was the hero in the Bobcats' win over Sienna, he was quick to share credit with his teammates.
We got the win and the team was able to keep a clean sheet. So I'm proud of all the guys, not only myself, the coaches. I think we really deserve this one.
With Miller back in the fold, the Bobcats are once again searching not only for a MAC postseason appearance, but a MAC title.
That says we're here. We're here to compete, and not only compete, we're here to win. I hope now that I'm back and now I can really bring spirit from on the field. I'm really excited. I think all the boys were on the same page, and from there we're going to keep pushing.
João Pinto, who has been Miller's teammate for 4 seasons now, says that Miller has always been a leader.
He hasn't grown as a leader. He's been a leader from day one. He's an amazing guy. In practice, he's always on top of each other. In the games, as you can see, he's always on top of everyone. Always wants the best for the team, and he's a natural-born leader, yeah.
In his 21st season as Quinnipiac's head coach, Eric DaCosta is still learning from players like Miller and praised the midfielder for his resilience and mentality.
But his ability to have a positive mindset and always see the good in everything, and that things could turn out for the better instead of for the worse. It's unbelievable. He's a cup half full guy. He's not a cup half empty guy. So yeah, we learn from him every day. He is a natural leader, and he's just a good person. So he's an easy person to follow because he's just a good person.
Miller will look to lead the Bobcats to his second MAC title during his tenure. Reporting for Q30 Sports, I'm Zach Naffa.
Let's take a look at the current men's soccer MAC standings. No movement at the top spot as Sacred Heart still holds a commanding lead over the MAC. The next 4 spots tighten up as Fairfield and Sienna are dead even in the 2 spot, both posting a 4-1-3 record. Iona comes in at the 3, and in 4th place, Niagara Purple Eagles, who have 2 more games to play, including one against the Quinnipiac Bobcats, who have asserted themselves back into the playoff picture with their win this weekend.
We need to take another time out here on Sports Paws, but when we come back, women's soccer traveled to New York to go up against the Iona Gales, looking to remain undefeated in MAC play.
And don't worry, we still have the top 5 plays of the week in Bobcat sports. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.
Everyone has a ritual, that small thing to keep us focused.
A habit we never skip, to clear our minds and elevate our performance.
But what do you do to keep your head in the game? To drown out the self-doubt and support your mental health. Because being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mental health. Discover the resources that you need to keep your mind focused and your mental health a priority.
Guys! We had to make a commercial for #that right now. What do we do?
How long do we have? We only had 2 months to do this.
We could explain that it's a pop culture news show that covers everything from movies, music, and video games.
Yeah, and we can also talk about how there's pre-recorded segments that vary from reviews to in-depth discussions.
We should also mention that it broadcasts live every Monday at 7 p.m. on q30tv.com/watch.
I think that covers everything.
Did you guys get that down?
We are taught you don't talk about your problems with nobody because you could get in trouble. And I've been through a lot. Anxiety, depression, sexual assault. When I decided to get help, my life changed. In the mental health box, that was one of the big tools. Accepting help means that we are allowing somebody to bless our life. It's freeing. We got stronger together. Love your mind.
Every day, thousands of kids start vaping. And I can't let this happen to my kid. So if you want to talk to your kids, you have to get it trending.
No, you're doing it wrong. Let's go.
Can we talk?
Yeah, what's up?
Visit talkaboutvaping.org for tips on when and how to have the vape talk.
Welcome back to Sports Paws. Staying on the pitch, the women's soccer team went down to New Rochelle, New York to take on the Iona Gales. The Bobcats remain undefeated in conference play, winning this one by a score of 2-0. Corey Anderson would net the first goal thanks to a free kick in the 26th minute, and Morgan Kupo would do the same later in the first half. Anderson also got an assist on Kupo's goal, bringing the first year's season total to 3 goals and 9 points. Olivia Jarvis got her second clean sheet and 6th win of the season. The Bobcats will close out their regular season hosting the Manhattan Jaspers on Wednesday.
After her 1 goal and 1 assist weekend, first-year defender Corey Anderson earned herself some hardware. She was named as MAC Rookie of the Week as well as Offensive Player of the Week. Her goal came off a penalty kick before she assisted the Kupo goal. This past weekend, Anderson's 3 goals is the season tie for the second best on the team. She continues to be a necessary piece of the Bobcats' playoff run.
Jumping over to the MAC standings, Quinnipiac is still sitting at second in the conference behind the Fairfield Stags, who have now successfully taken home the MAC regular season title. The Bobcats also clinched a playoff berth this week alongside the Stags and the Sacred Heart Pioneers. 3 spots still remain vacant for postseason play, with 1 week to go before the first round commences this Sunday. The Bobcats' final game on Wednesday against the Jaspers will be crucial for Manhattan as they currently sit in the final playoff spot.
The rugby team took to Maryland on Saturday, and the team came out strong in their matchup against Queens. The Bobcats posted a shutout in the first half, where 6 different Bobcats had tries to help take a 43-0 lead into the break. Queens came out and scored to start the second half, but Regan Jackson and Gabriella Apia both had their second tries of the match, reclaiming the Bobcats' demanding lead. Queens would only score once more before losing 64-14.
Returning the focus to Connecticut, the women's cross-country team finished out their regular season at the CCSU mini-meet. First-year Natalie Crocker led the way for the Bobcats on Friday night, finishing in 10th place, followed by Ryan Kelly 2 spots behind. Quinnipiac finished in 4th place overall, with the home team of CCSU taking home the victory. The squad now turns their attention to the MAC Championship, looking to secure their 4th straight conference title on Saturday in Montgomery, New York. From one sport ending to another beginning, the women's basketball team named its captains for the upcoming season. Graduate guard Jackie Grisdale, senior forward Ella O'Donnell, and junior center Anna Foley have been named as the captains for the 2025-26 season. This marks Grisdale's 3rd season as captain out of her 5 here in Hamden. The 3 captains look to lead the rest of the squad back to the MAC championship game for the second straight season. Well, Sam, with Halloween coming up on Friday, it's no surprise to me that the Bobcats' plays this week were scary good.
Yeah, Miranda, it's no trick that these top 5 plays are a treat to watch. Starting with number 5, match point here, and Sacred Heart's fate is sealed by Vittoria Tonelli's kill. Bobcats win it 4-1.
Play number 4 now. Taylor Brewski's on a breakaway, and she can't be stopped. Top shelf she goes to give the Bobcats some leverage on Whitney Ave. Bobcats win 3-1.
Play number 3, now on the turf. Corey Anderson has the free kick, and Morgan Kupo makes the turning strike to secure the Bobcats' lead. They win 2-0.
Play 2, now on the men's side. Alex Miller has a chance at the top of the box, and he sends it to the opposite post. Take a look at this one again. The Bobcats will win 1-0 over the Saints.
With number 1 play, another one from Jeremy Wilmer, a feed from Marcus Vidicek. He gets the third period goal. Bobcats win it 2-0. Well, this week's matchups did not disappoint. From the hardwood to the ice, Quinnipiac sports were on full display. But for now, that's all the time we have tonight. Make sure to stay up to date on everything Quinnipiac sports by following us on Instagram and X at Q30 Sports.
Also, check out our website at q30tv.com. Thank you to all of the producers and everyone working hard behind the scenes to make this show possible. For Sam Kaplan, I'm Miranda Putorti. Have a great night, Bobcats.